Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now this window is running back out of the backfield, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
On play action, they'll throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 32-yard line. They'll set up a throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10. That is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Here's Johnson, and an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Hey, let's go. Let's go, Brown.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd, gone. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
We go, 76. 76. Turbo, 7.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. To Johnson again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Goff. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Point after try forthcoming. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal.
Touchdown, Titans! Tariq Cohen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are going to retake the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. 1 play, 75 yards, 6 points. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
On 1st down, Drake. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Check 52. Orange. I'm coming after you.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Goff. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. They give to Johnson going right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Titans to take over on offense. Last week they got the victory against the Colts, so they lead this one as well as they begin things here 1st and 10.
Ready? 53, check 53. Watch the blood, watch the blood, watch the blood. Watch the blood, motion, blood.
Quick throw caught out wide by Valdez-Scantling. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Ready, break.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Man, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Well, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Value 3, value 3.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Check 52.
At the 16-yard line.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Back to throw, Goff. And that will be incomplete. Well, you were just alluding to it. They had the lead. Don't try anything silly. Run the ball, but they opted to throw it incomplete.
And now the punt, as a result, is really compressed, isn't it? So the mechanics have to be perfect. Snap, and he's got to get rid of it fast.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Titans moving quickly here. They're in the hurry-up. They run. This is Cohen. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
And now here comes Kansas City. Now the question, what do you do here? Time not really an issue. You got over a minute, but you figure from this spot you'd need a good 50, 60 yards to even consider a field goal try.
Yeah, so there's optimism there, but there's also a little bit of restraint, right? You got to make sure you don't take a sack here. Don't end up in the end zone. Ball gets stripped. You could give up 2 points in that occasion, or maybe even 6 if you can't get on it and recover it yourself. So make sure you protect the guy throwing the football if indeed that's the plan of attack.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to pump the ball. They've done so with that first run.
And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Here we go. 20. Got you, boy. I got you, boy. 20. Let's go. Here we go. Tiger. 953.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. On second and very short, Goff steps away to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Goff on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down. Here we go with Johnson. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. First down, a run with Cohen. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
53, Mike. That's right, baby.
Brings up second and 9 at the Chiefs' 32-yard.
Second and 9 now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Raekwon McMillan gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. On first down, Cohen. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
53, check out.
They'll set up to throw. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. And the 13-year man puts it through. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Yannick Ngakoue picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a 1st down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now this throw caught left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 23.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go. Head logo. You better bring it. Get up. Be careful.
On 2nd down. It's Cohen, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It goes as a loss of 6, and now 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Again, it's Cohen. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans have once again taken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, it's gone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. The Chiefs on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for going. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
On 2nd and 7, Goff, and they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Yannick Ngakoue able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. We go. 76. 76. Hey, echo. That's the way. 51, Mike. Mike 51. You don't know no better. Mike.
3rd and long. It's gone. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
At the 46-yard line.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
Come on, set. And shoot so. 15, check back 50. I got it. Ready?
They'll drop to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. He's at the 30. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. And that is a tough pill to swallow. All they had to do, Charles, keep the ball, work this clock.
The only way for the defense to win was to force the fumble. And they did. Took it the other way for a score. And now, if you're the offensive team, it will take a miracle, perhaps, to win this ball game.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Titans down by a field goal, just over 1:40 to play. Now they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. He'll look to throw.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws under.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Tie game, probably time for one final play here. What do you do in this spot?
Now you're thinking about Hail Mary. You've got to find a way to heap.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first throw here in overtime. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. You throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got it bracketed out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Goff. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike 53. Mike 53. I got one.
On 2nd down now. It's Kane, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They'll run on first down. It's Cohen, and he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They try again with Cohen, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. He'll drop to throw. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown, Titans. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us